Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to break down the upcoming event here that's called the And a Zombie at the Party. This is the final event that's wrapping up for the December festivities before we move on to January. But more importantly, there's actually an opportunity here for Red Star, obviously for Scarlet Witch Zombie, and hence the naming here, and as well as a chance for diamonds for Medusa. So there are a couple of things to obviously be mindful of, but guys, honestly speaking, based on what I saw anyways, it looks like the red star for Zombie Scarlet Witch is only going to be obtainable at the very end of the milestone. And I'll show you the details. Maybe I missed it, but we're going to be breaking that down, what that's going to look like in terms of what you need to be doing and how to free-to-play friendly this is going to be. So first and foremost, this is how you're going to be scoring, right? There's involvement and participation here with Alliance War. So making sure that you battle in war on offense. Absolute 8-Force characters are going to give you a lot more points here, especially the bonus side. And for the first time in a long time, we're actually getting orb fragments specifically from the ISO 8 campaign. So many of us, myself included, has been hoarding ISO 8 energy for quite some time. To be honest, I only usually do it because every other event usually switches off between campaign and ISO 8. But I don't know, for whatever reason, for the last month and a half, I think, we haven't seen an ISO 8 event in quite some time. So I've just been saving my ISO 8, and now we're at a point where the level cap increase is coming up so soon that I'm probably just going to bank it and save it. And you'll see in my math later of why, because I don't really care for this event, as you'll see in the breakdown later on. But yeah, ultimately that's that in a nutshell is the event. ISO 8 campaign energy, involvement in war, as well as the web milestone component, which is usually tied back to the spending of snow globes. So big rewards includes Scarlet Zombie, Red Stars, as well as tech gear. We're also going to be seeing the partridge and snow globes being part of this, and once again, it's starting on December 30th. How you're going to be getting the Red Stars is either at the end of the event, or if you look at actually here in the leaderboard component of this, you can see here there's ions associated. You're going to get a chance here for ISO 8 credits and as well as diamond ore fragments, but this leaderboard is only tied back to the Medusa diamond. So being in the top 1,000 is going to give you that chance for the Medusa diamond. If you don't care, then you may not want to even give that much engagement. Otherwise, the second part of the milestone, sorry I skipped it, is the season of giving aspect, which is tied back to all the events we've been doing every single week. The spending of snow globes is going to add points there. There's about 10,000 total points that you're going to be getting from this, so just make sure that you're logged into the Marvel Strike Force website, making sure that you spend those snow globes in the store, because this is going to give you 10,000 points, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme, but it's going to help out if you want to be going for those side goals. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. That's a very simple event. There's only a couple things you're doing, right? Alliance War, ISO 8 campaign, and then the website. Now, I'm going to show you the actual chart breakdown. This is what we're going to be tracking for the next week here. You can see there's snow globes on the side there if you want to take advantage. I've been personally using it for the Astral Forces, just to get higher reds on my Shadow King. Otherwise, I haven't really been using it for anything else. Maybe I think I got a Gore Diamond, but that was it. And that's just because I had some extra snow globes here and there from Alliance participation with donations. Otherwise, you can see here, honestly speaking, augmented gear, there's a bit of crimson gear, a bit of gold, some T3 ISO 8 ions, but nothing crazy here. The snow globes is probably what you want to be going for if you haven't finished up the monthly event. And then more importantly, the partridge here is going to give you the biggest boost in points, and also actually has 100,000 of the T3 ions, as well as some orb fragments here and there for the purple gear. So obviously, if you're aiming for purple ISO, always try to maximize what you can, as that is kind of limited now that it's been situated in war outside of Battle World until they revise and refresh that. But you can see even the breakdown here looks crazy here, but again, there's only 3 components, right? If you use your absolute 8-Force characters, you're going to be getting 25,000 points from just participation. The New Year 2025 orbs are from ISO 8. And then as well, we have the Zombie at the Party milestone coming from the actual web milestone. Now, what's different about this is that was not mentioned in the summary is that there is a showcase side. So the spending of the What If Winterland event energy, that's going to give you 10 points per. So pretty notable if you guys are aiming for certain targets. Aside from that, Kahori, Miss Marvel Classic, Medusa. If you have them at 5 stars and above, this is going to be a very, very easy event. But for the calculation that I always do, I'm going to assume that you don't have these characters at 5 stars. I'm going to assume that you don't even have these characters unlocked. So how free to play is it, and whether or not it's worth it? This is the breakdown right here. So once again, just to reiterate, 7-day event, absolute 8-Force characters being utilized. So remember, this includes the non 3 new members as well, right? We're going to be getting 5,000 points each time you use them. So, you know, you essentially got to use them 5 times over the 3 wars. Very easy to obtain the 25,000. Showcase energy that you're using for the what if you're doing it 10 points per, it's going to give you close to 20,000. And this is assuming, by the way, that you're not using any power cores whatsoever. I'm being hyper conservative just because I don't like wasting my resources for a non-event such as this. And then ISO 8 energy, like I said, this is only going to be relevant if you are planning to use ISO 8. And typically we generate, you know, close to about 700-ish, 600-ish energy per day if you're refreshing anything in terms of power cores, and it's going to get you close to 17,000. And we always use that ratio of 4 points per, because that's the most common number that they've used. This could be higher. If it's higher, it might be an even easier event, but for conservative reasons, we'll use the low point. And then finally, the 10,000 points coming from the web milestone. So when you add all this together, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting about 72,000 points, assuming that you're doing everything as I shown here, assuming you don't have any of the 3 new Absolute A-Force characters here. You can see this is going to be a tougher monthly event to hit because it's 72,000 points from all these 3. So it leads me to believe that the points for ISO 8 is probably higher. It's probably going to be like maybe 6 points per, maybe even like 7 or 8, just because of the fact that you can see here, we basically need to double it, right? We need to more than double that to actually hit this. And usually they allow most players to hit the monthly minimum, so that way you can actually complete it. But guys, I also want to point this out too. If you've been engaged and you've been doing all the events that we've been breaking down every single week for the last few weeks for this month of December, you probably won't even need to do this event. That's why I'm skipping it. This is what I'm calculating right now if I don't do anything. But I'm not spending my ISO 8 campaign energy, right? So you can take that 17,000 off because it's probably not going to apply to me. I don't need the partridge for the 101,000 points because I already finished the monthly. So really, how I see it is this is more of a catch-up event where if you miss something along the way this month, this would be your opportunity to finish up the monthly. But aside from that, it's basically a resource sink. The only way you're going to be finishing this is if you do core a bit. By the way, guys, if you are planning to use your power cores, make sure you do it for the showcase energy, because the showcase energy is going to give you better value per core spending there. So even if you were to core 200 cores per day for showcase, it's going to get you to the 101,000, which will give you the partridge. But aside from that, guys, really much so a non-event. The zombie Scarlet Witch is only available at the very bottom of the milestone, and it's not worth it, especially if you don't have that character already at 7 yellow stars. Remember, you need 7 yellow stars to access the 7 red bonuses, right? So unless that character becomes farmable in the future, which doesn't likely seem to be the case, as this is an epic trade character. So for myself, guys, I'm just going to play the game as I normally would, but I'm actually not going to spend any ISO 8 energy. I'm just going to use what I can. I'll get whatever free resources I can get, but this is pretty much a non-event to wrap up the final, final event of the year before the new year. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Hopefully you're also going to be conserving your resources like myself, but unless you need the partridge to absolutely finish the monthly event, I wouldn't recommend engaging in this. I would just save your resource and whatnot, because it's really much so a non-event meant to deplete resources. And we know that there's new characters and teams coming. We know Jean Grey and Hercules are around the corner. Those are characters that are better yet invested with the power cores that we have on hand. So do let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you agree or disagree, but that's my game plan overall since I've already completed the monthly. There's nothing really much besides the leaderboard if you want to be gunning for the Medusa Diamond. So hope this is helpful, guys. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.